We are getting into the absolute best throwing candles I have tried to date. And I'm giving you the actual fragrance names and the suppliers. You guys know me, that's not really a change. I'm very transparent and I will always share things that are and are not working for me. So if you need to know which candles have the absolute best hot throw, stick around. We're getting into it right now. Well, welcome back to the channel. It's Sarah here from Eleve Body and Home. I really, every year I do a best and worst fragrance oils video, and I do plan to still do that. I just haven't found the right list yet. I know there are some that I'm forgetting, so I'm really trying to go back through and see all the things I have created this year, going back to my fragrance oil spreadsheet that I can maintain and keep all my fragrance oil data on, which is available in my Patreon if you're interested. That video is coming. Don't worry, I am making it. I'm just trying to make sure that I've covered all of the bases. And I'm also trying to make sure that I'm not being too repetitive year after year with like the same ones. Although some of them do repeat, which is truly a testament to how great they are. But I thought that this one would be interesting in the meantime. While I will be going through the best hot throw candles and the fragrance oils that I use for those best hot throw candles, I want to kind of make sure that everyone is clear that this video should be taken for what it is. There are other fragrance oils that give a great hot throw, absolutely. There are some that are going to work for me that aren't going to work for you, and likewise, sure, there are fragrance oils out there that you think are the absolute best hot throw in your candle that I don't. So keep that in mind when watching this video. The way I make candles is going to be very different from the way that you do, all the way down to the wick, the wax, the width of the wick, the material that the wick is made of. There are so many different factors, so I always recommend you do your own testing with your own fragrance oils and making your own formulations. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's dive right in. I do have some seasonal fragrances and some year-round fragrances, so I think I'm just gonna go. I wrote a little list. Look, this is what my week looks like this week. It's crazy. So I wrote this little sticky note right here is where I kept my information. Let's just start at the top and we're gonna go right on down the list. And the first one is a roasted honey butter from Midwest Fragrance. I got this oil when they were doing their, I think, what was it, like $2 trial size? I can't remember. There was like a sale they were having where you could get some smaller sized 2-ounce bottles, but I can't remember how much they were. So I got the maximum number allowed because I had never tried Midwest before. I thought that this fragrance oil sounded like something that I absolutely needed to have. And boy, did it not disappoint. It smells absolutely phenomenal. It smells exactly how you think it would smell. And the throw on this is like a 12 out of 10. I went less with the fragrance oil after seeing how strong it was in my little tester. And even after going like less, I typically do between 0.7 and 0.9 ounces when making one 8-ounce candle. And again, your measurements will be different than mine or your formula will be different than mine, but that's what I find works for me in the candles that I make. And even dropping down to a 0.7 ounce was too much. Like, not too much because the fragrance was amazing, but I felt like I could still make it like a little bit less and still get the same throw. So that is awesome. Definitely recommend. I wouldn't keep it year round in my collection, but I will absolutely be, I have a couple left now and I will definitely be bringing it back next year. And following up, this is another one that I got from that same sale, is the Heart and Home. This is an original Midwest fragrance oil, and it is absolutely amazing. When I tell you it is fall and holiday, I do think it could go through Christmas. It truly is. It has such a great throw, and the throw is almost immediate. It's very cuddle up with a book. It's wonderful. It really is. I renamed it to Gather, and that's what I call it. And it's amazing. Love it. Switching over to Simbi, which has a lot of really great ones. You guys know I'm a stan for Simbi. So these won't be much of a surprise. Chapter book, it's actually called Haunted Library. I call it chapter book, but Cindy calls it Haunted Library. It's a really great fragrance. I do carry it year round, though I do see sales slow down for it in the summer months, whereas others stay steady year round. So that one does drop off just a little bit for me in the summer, but always comes right back when cozy season or spooky season or the cold weather comes back around. I just find that it's super unique and I really, really like that. My number one best-selling fragrance of all time is going to be Top Shelf Speakeasy, and the throw matches it. It is truly a really great fragrance, and I do feel like every time I burn it, I smell something or notice something about the smell that I didn't catch the last time I burnt it. Like I feel like it's a very strong throw, but it's not like smack you in the face. Like the roasted honey butter is definitely a smack you in the face type of fragrance. Whereas Top Shelf Speakeasy is really great and it's very powerful, but it's a little less intense, you know, like it fills the room very beautifully. It's not like a boom. I don't know how to describe it other than it's not like that. I don't know. I don't know if that was a good description or not, but I do feel like I did my best getting my point across there. I just truly, truly love it. And again, that one is actually my husband's number one favorite. So that speaks volumes of it because the man is very, very picky. Next up, we've got Lavender Haze, which is also from Cindy. This is like lavender, but it's got like a little hint of a little musk in it. So it's not a straight lavender. It does have a very complex, like when you think of lavender, you think of lavender, but this has like other layers to it as well. And I think that's really great. Lavender Haze is truly like a best-selling fragrance for me in all areas of my business, including soap. Even when like soap sales slow down, the Lavender Haze ones continue to move. It's just really great. It's very universal. The throw of it is absolutely amazing. Again, a little bit of this one does go a really long way. So I find myself using less in my formulations, all of my formulations, by the way, not just my candles, but I lower the amount of fragrance oil I'm using in whatever it is that I'm pouring or making with Lavender Haze. It's truly a great one. Especially if you like lavender but are looking to like stand out a little bit, I think that this is a really great one for that as well. Next up on the list, we've got White Cashmere, which is another Simbi fragrance. If I had to put a number on the throw of White Cashmere, it would probably be, after it's been burning for an hour, like an 8.5 out of 10. It just smells so beautiful. And I will say it is a super long lasting fragrance. Like if you were, I know this is about candles, but if you were to use it in body products, the fragrance lasts a super long time in all of your body products as well. Just like side note, side note, that has nothing to do with candles. But it just is really great. It fills a room really quickly. The other thing that I really like to use it in is reed diffusers because again, it just lasts a really long time. You know, when I use that in comparison to other fragrances, they don't last as long as the White Cashmere does, which is always a great sign. Of course, next up, we have to switch over to Wholesale Supplies Plus for their new Blue Skies and Cardigans fragrance oil. I really like that one a lot. I ordered it just strictly based off of the name. I thought it sounded really cool and I ended up loving it. The throw, I made my farmhouse like rustic style candles with it, not my typical wooden wick style. And the throw of it was really, really nice. I like the way that it was like an even layer. I just felt like a blanket, like you were in a blanket of this Blue Skies and Cardigan fragrance. I named it Spooky Season, and everyone really seemed to like that at the vintage market. But I don't know. I don't know how to describe the way it smells, but it smells really great. It's very fall. And then again, just like a nice, approachable fragrance, I guess would be a really good way to put it too. Again, not like a smack you in the face type, but more of like a nice, like feathering of the fragrance, if that makes sense. This is also one that I can smell in multiple areas of my house when I have it burning. I do pay really close attention to where I light a candle because, you know, when you light your candle, the airflow of your house will affect like what rooms that smell like your candle, right? So I do feel like this is a really good one. I can kind of just light wherever and not worry about where it's going to smell. It just puts like a nice even layer of the fragrance out into the air and it just smells really, really good. Then we have the Sweater Weather dupe from Fragrance Buddy. I've used this several times. I really enjoy the throw of this candle. I would say it's got to be like a 15 out of 10. And I do feel like the numbers, like the throw numbers keep getting higher and higher, but that's probably, you know, just the way I was writing them on my list. But I just feel like it's such a great fragrance. It also works really great and lasts a long time in diffusers. This is one of the only fragrances I can truly say lasts to the very, very end of the diffuser after the rest of the liquid is gone. You can still smell it. So it has a really great like permeability. It truly smells wonderful and I can't wait to have it again next year. I am currently sold out of it and I'm not going to buy another bottle. I'm like drowning in all these fragrance oils that I always say I'm not going to buy, but then I end up buying them. So it will come back next year for a third year in a row, but for now I am sold out of it. But I definitely do recommend that one. And I know I've talked about this before, but just as a reminder, when ordering a dupe style of fragrance from a supplier, not all of them are created equally, and some suppliers will have a closer or better dupe for what you're looking for than others will. Some of them will smell really bad. Some of them will smell okay. Some of them will smell great. Some will smell better than the original fragrance. So it just depends. And again, that's something that you have to kind of test out for yourself. But looking at the reviews of a fragrance oil before you order them can help you determine if it's going to be close to the original fragrance or like far off, you know. So that's something that can help you out for sure. The video wouldn't be complete without talking about my second fragrance oil company that I absolutely love, and that is Dupe Fragrance. My favorite oil from Dupe is the St. Bart's. It's very summer, but it has such a great throw to it. It smells absolutely amazing. The one that I really love from Dupe is called Laundry Room. I do think that they have discontinued it, unfortunately, so I am looking for a replacement because that one was just such like a fresh, like if you wanted your house to smell fresh and clean, but not like perfumey, that was perfect for that. So I am looking for a replacement for that. So yeah, that was kind of a bummer because I found it like right before it was discontinued. So I won't be able to use that one anymore, but I'm sure we can find something else that we love. So I'm going to go ahead and go on that note. Can you please drop it down in the comments below what your like #1 throwing candles are? I know my list is not all of them, so I would love to hear your opinion on that, and others I'm sure would as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're still here, I would really love if you could help me hit closer to my goal of 10K subscribers by December 31st, 2024. I really truly believe that if you were to support me in that way, I could hit my goal by New Year's. That would be awesome, and I would really appreciate that. I have a huge giveaway planned for when that time comes, and I would love to have you as part of it. All right, I will see you next week. Thanks again.